All right. Look at this. Holy macaroni. I'm still not used to this rolling chair, man. I completely forgot. I was sitting down in a regular chair just a second ago, and you saw the results. That's the way that happens. What's happening, everybody? Holy macaroni. Look at us. Here we are again. I am Green Bean, and this is GreenBean's Jets Pod, episode 110. Look at that. 110. 110. There we go. 110. 110 episodes. So that leads us to a really interesting place today. We have some options with our player profile. We do. We have options. Recent, not so recent, kind of recenter than the other not recent. We can do lots of things. We'll see where we land. Guys, I'm happy that you're here. This is an interesting week for us. We had quite a bit go on, and we got lots of emotions and feelings. Ooh. What's happening out here? Lots of feelings and accusations of feelings, and then I'm not feeling anything feelings. All those kinds of things are going on in Jetsville right now. And we also have quite the stare down going on, do we not? Yes, we do. We have a stare down going on between the New York Jets and the inexperienced with this type of thing, Green Bay Packers. We got to talk about that. We're going to talk about where we stand today. We have some tidbits from Mr. Garofolo on where things are. We'll see if that's, see how that is and see how it makes us feel. Since this is the week of feelings, why not? Let's talk about how it makes us feel. Let's make this somewhat of a therapy session episode, huh? I'm feeling it. I had no idea that was where, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to embrace my former therapist and see if we can, we'll feel it out, huh? We'll identify our feelings with words. We will find and connect the right words to describe our feelings. Therefore, we can land on potential solutions and maybe even identify triggers. What do you think? We'll do it. I'm in. That's the way it's going to go. Before we get into all that, guys, I do want to just tell you a couple of things. One is that this show is sponsored by none other than Manscaped. Manscaped is the finest in below the men's waist. Below the waist men's grooming. That's what it is. Below the waist men's grooming products. That you know this stuff already. But recently they've left the waistband and they've come up to the faceland, and they are now providing excellent, and I mean excellent, beard products, balms, oils, shampoos, all those types of things. But in addition to that, the maintenance of, you got the scissors, you got the really cool, you got the beard brush, but you also have the comb, which is excellent. I use the comb constantly. I love it. I should have it in here, actually. I don't, but I will next time. I'll show you the comb. It's good. But it also has the crown jewel is the beard hedger trimmer. And that thing is badass, man. 20 settings, all within the unit itself. You don't have to take clips, those little clippy things off into different sizes, and I need a 1 for this, I need a 4 for that. You don't have to do that anymore. It's all there. It's just there, and it's not the slide uppy downy thing that falls off. It's not. That piece of shit, that thing, I had it. Who made that? Was that Norelco? Ugh, I hated that thing. It always fell off. I hated it. And then it said it was at a 3, but it was really at a 2. You can't have that. You got to trust it. Well, you can trust the beard hedger. Guys, the products are second to none in this space. There's no question about it. If you'd like to get in on that, if you've been thinking about it or need a refill or need a re-up or whatever it might be, use the promo code GreenBean at checkout and they will take off 20% of your charges instantly. In addition to that, you will get free international shipping. Use the promo code GreenBean. Get yourself some Manscaped products, and you will not be disappointed, I assure you. Guys, I also want to remind you how important it is here with the YouTube algorithmic scene that we live within on this side of this thing over here. It's really important to pull on those milk thumbs. And that's the thumbs up button. You got to hit that thing. YouTube loves it, man. I don't know why. They want us to tell you to hit it. The YouTube algorithm loves a little milk thumb action. And if you do that, I will be greatly appreciated. In addition to that, if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, that is about the best thing you can do to help us out here. Subscribe to the channel, little button right there below the video. I think it's on the right-hand side. Go click that thing. You never got to click it again. It's done. Unless you unclick it, of course. I say something you don't like, and you're like, fuck that guy. And then you got to re-click it again. You're like, hey, he's not so bad. And then you do that. If that's what's going on, just remember to click it again. That's all I ask. It's greatly appreciated. It's literally the only way that we can grow on this platform. So thank you to all who've done it, and thank you in advance to all those who will. All right. Guys, this is episode 110. So we are going to discuss a player with the number 10. Right. That's what you knew. But the only issue is which player with the number 10. We've had a few. Now, just to name a couple, we have Santonio Holmes, right? Remember him? He was pretty good. He also had a pretty big meltdown, and he had a pretty stark ending to a promising career, right? Then we had Chad. Chad was number 10. Oh, that's my favorite 10. I have to admit, that's my favorite 10. And I was going to deconstruct. I was going to do it. I was. But we have a very, very recent 10. Some of you already forgot. I'm going to say it and you're going to go, oh, yeah, him. He's already gone. But he's only gone for a few weeks. And that is none other than Braxton Berrios. And look, we don't have to talk too much about a guy who's gone, but he left and went to a division rival, the Miami Dolphins. Came from the division rival Patriots, went to the division rival Dolphins. So he's still kind of applicable, which is why I'm choosing to talk about him. Now, Braxton Berrios is an interesting player. He's one of, if not the first, Joe Douglas scrap heap guy. You know, the waiver claims, right? So the Patriots exposing the waivers. Joe Douglas grabs him with the Adam Gase year. Belichick calls Gase and says, hey, you got a really good one. I really didn't want to lose him. I was going to bring him right back on the practice squad and the whole thing. And Berrios did an interesting thing here. He got better every year. Imagine that. What a wacky way to do things, right? Just every year, better. He was an all-pro in 2021 as a kick returner. Very, very nice. And most of, if not all of Jetnation wanted to see Braxton Berrios re-signed in last year's free agent period. Now, the good news is he did. So we were so happy. Yay! But then he did something weird. Now, and this is where it'll change, right? He dyed his hair, man. And let's be honest. Let's just be honest. Let's talk about this for a second. Remember, we're in a therapy session. How did you feel when you first saw it? You went, right? Like, what? Why? Why did he do that? He's a good-looking guy. Why did he bleach blonde his hair? Okay, we all felt the same thing. 94.6% of us felt the exact same thing. It was confusion, befuddled. Maybe even a little nervous, scared. I'm a little afraid. What does it mean? Why is he doing that to himself? And he looked like an idiot, right? That's the truth. I mean, look, to all you guys out there dyeing your hair blonde, it is what it is. It's fine. This particular time, it just seemed weird. It just came out of nowhere, just popped up, and it didn't look right. And all of us thought so. The interesting thing is, since he did that, this is the first year that he kind of goes down. He's like just significant. Now, he wasn't terrible for the first half of the season. He did his job. He was good. He's still clutch and all those things. But it was just less clutch, less opportunity. Maybe that's LaFleur, whatever it is. Maybe LaFleur didn't like the hair. You know how LaFleur is. LaFleur didn't like people. He'd look and go, I don't like his feet. And he wouldn't play him. That's LaFleur. I don't like the way he smells. You know, that's LaFleur, man. He's weird. Maybe he didn't like his hair and he gave him less opportunities. Who knows? But his stats go down a little bit. But then another interesting thing happened, and you know this. In the Vikings game, he had that critical game-winning, or potential game-winning, but ultimately game-losing drop in the end zone. Look, he has never been the same. I mean, it was as if we were watching a different player. Fair? Am I being inaccurate? Tell me. I don't think I am. Tell me in the comments. I think it was, granted, he was already dipping. But not terrible. It was fine. It's just, sometimes the rolls are increased. It's all good. He didn't look bad when he was used. It was fine. He had the touchdown pass to Zach. They did the jiggity, whatever the hell that thing it is, the griggity. I don't know what it is. Giggity. That's what I don't know. Is that what it is? I don't even know where it comes from. I have no idea. But they did it. It looked good to me. Everybody said it was good. I don't know. Some people made fun of it. Zach Wilson doing the griggity. Whatever. The giggity. Jiggity. I don't know. So they did that. So remember, it started off pretty good. He had some fun times, but that pass happened and he became lost. Waving fair catches by at the 35, fair catching it at the 5, things like that. Like just, it was off. Ducking, kind of ready to fair catch it and ducking, like weird. He just looked off. He was completely ineffective. And he had some games where he caught some catch, he would drop it and then catch it. He was like fighting back, and you got to give it to him. I think he's a high quality player, but it's very possible that the Miami Dolphins are getting a player that just might be trying to work through what we call the yips. Yippee dippy doo. That's what we're hoping they get. Because look, he's a good guy. We like him, all those things. But as is NFL, now you're the enemy. I don't like you anymore. I'm sorry. So Braxton Berrios, let's hope he can take his yips down there to the fish. That would be delightful to see. Oh, I would just relish. If he drops a punt, fair catches it on the one, something like that, I'm going to go, oh. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, I'm going to roll around in glee. That's what I'll do. Yep, roll around in glee. That's what I'll do. But yeah, so he's down there now. But yeah, look, last thing, another thing happened to him this year. His relationship ended with that famous girl. What was her name again? Let me see here. Oh, Sophia Culpo. Sophia Culpo broke up with him too. So maybe it was the hair. She's like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, yeah, it's terrible. But the thing is with the dyed hair too, we thought it'd be like a week, a month. He kept it all year, man. Every time he took his helmet off, he's like, oh, it's still there? What's going on with this hair, bro? So I don't know if he's bringing it down there. I mean, look, if there's a place where that hair is accepted and like really part of the culture, it's Miami. I'm going to tell you, I lived there. I lived in Miami for years, man. So lots of those hair types down there. If you're down there, you know what the deal is. So that's Braxton Berrios, man. He's a poor guy, no girlfriend, no Jets, no completion of the contracts, got the yips. See if he can come back. We're going to keep an eye on him because he's with the Dolphins. So let's see how it goes. We're rooting against you, buddy. I hope you fail. Braxton Berrios, there he is. Okay, so now we're going to move into this week's exciting happenings, huh? We'll talk about all the good stuff that happened in the news of the week. A-Rod Trade, episode 22. A-Rod Watch, day 24. Is that where we are? I don't even know anymore. Remember when we were doing like day 4, day 7? I've lost count. Maybe I've lost interest in counting. Maybe it's because I can't count. Maybe that's where it's 7, 10. I'm like, slow down. I fucking back up. Everybody slow down. Just tell me when it happens and we'll talk about it. But so what happens is this. The New York Jets and the Green Bay Packers are currently in a stare down, right? And the NFL has taken notice and everybody's talking about who's going to win, who's got leverage. Shannon Sharp came out and said, no way are the Packers going to get a first-round pick, nor should they. He said, I'd give them a 4th, maybe a 3rd with conditions because you're not giving somebody a player that could be there for 10 years for a 1-year rental. You just don't do it. You just don't do it. But here's the thing. Garofalo came out with a new kind of, little report on the feelings from both sides, what's going on. He said the Jets feel like they have given them a very fair offer and that the Packers are just being stubborn. The Jets also feel like they're bidding against themselves, and that's it. We're not going to bid against ourselves. When this is a famous thing, which, I mean, how many times have we talked about this with the Jets? They're bidding against themselves. Le'Veon Bell just comes to mind. The Jets were bidding against themselves. He was playing it like, they were releasing, I'm going to pick my team at 12 midnight. The Ravens offered like $5 million. The Jets paid him 13.2. So what does that tell you? McCagnon. This is not McCagnon. It's not. Joe Douglas is as cold as ice. He's as patient as they come. He'll stay here. He'll use his picks and all that. So when he said that, so Garofalo said that the Jets are not going to bid against themselves. That's what they feel the Packers are trying to make them do. They've identified it, and that's it. It's over. They've met their limit. This is the offer. Now, the rumors are, the extreme version of the rumor is that the Packers are asking for 2 firsts, and the Jets are offering a 3rd and a 4th. That's the extremes of the rumor. Now it's somewhere in there, who knows, a 1st and a conditional, and Jets are offering a 2nd. Could be anything like that. Once another thing happened, and we'll talk about this in a minute, when the Jets traded Elijah Moore to Cleveland, we got that additional 2nd. A lot of people felt like that was going to be capital for the Aaron Rodgers thing. Okay, we'll give you a 2nd, so to speak. It hasn't happened yet, so we don't know if that, in fact, is the case. We just don't know. But the other thing that we all talk about is the word leverage. Leverage this. Who's got the leverage? The Jets have the leverage. Green Bay Packers fans seem to think they have the leverage. The Jets fans seem to think they have the leverage. But I'm going to tell you this right now. As this ticks, the national, non-bias opinion is that the Packers have No leverage. And this is how you can tell. All right. Now, I'll give credit to my Thursday Thick of It co-host, Gunny Gunderson. Gunny Gumby over there at New York Jets Situation Report, who's the first guy who said this to me and just kind of brought this to my attention. He said, if you look at their free agency this year, it's almost non-existent. Now, Green Bay, they're not really the team known for blowing up the world in free agency, but they're about to start a first-time starter, Jordan Love. They are getting rid of a Hall of Fame, recent two-time MVP quarterback for this decision. They're ready to move on, the whole thing. You'd get the idea that this would be the year that they'd want to surround him with stuff. Well, they've signed 2 unrestricted free agents. Now, they've brought back a few of their own free agents, which is good. Restricted guys they were afraid of losing, some mid-tier guys. Well, really the top of the heap is their all-pro kick returner, Keyshawn Nixon, right? So they re-signed him, huge move. That's good for them. But as far as kind of adding to, they lost Lazard. So here's who they brought in. They brought in reserve safety, Tavarius Moore, right? Yeah, Tavarius Moore from the Niners. And he's a backup guy. He's a reserve guy. He has an injury history. He played 30 snaps, something like that, 40 snaps last year. Something along those lines. It can be a good signing, right? You need the depth, right? But it's not anything you think is going to really benefit Jordan Love and this decision to move on from Aaron Rodgers. The other guy is a long snapper, man. That's what they brought in. His name is Matt Orzech from the Rams. Good dude. And he's essentially competition for their rookie last year, who was okay, hot and cold, Jack Coco. Mr. Coco, all right, so he's going to be, his job is on the line. So this guy, he might not even be long for the team, or if he is, we're talking about a long snapper. As important as that is, long snapper. I mean, is that, what are we doing? That's what they're talking about. So the idea that the Packers are losing more than they're bringing in, and they're saying we have all the leverage. There's a very clear reason why they can't sign anybody. You want to know why it is? Because all their money's tied up in Aaron Rodgers. That's why. They need to get him off of their books. That's what they need. They need to get that money, as much of it as they can, off the books so they can make some moves, have some picks to support Jordan Love. The Jets, we can wait it out, man. Dude, we have his offensive coordinator. We have his wide receiver. Wait it out. We got a bunch of young studs. They're already learning the offense. They'll learn it with another quarterback. So what? It takes them 2 weeks to get into a rhythm with Rodgers or something like that. So what? It's a funny thing. Packers fans are funny. Again, dude, this is where we live, right? This is where we live, man. Free agency, battles, fucking leverage. The Packers fans are spoiled brats. You know this, right? I mean, look, dude, what other organization has had 2 consecutive Hall of Fame quarterbacks? Since what, 94? Wasn't that 93, 94? When they got Favre? Dude, I mean, half of you guys that are watching this weren't even born or fans yet. Shit, I was born in 86, dude. 94, They've had 2 quarterbacks in that time. Now, credit to them, don't get me wrong, but the fans, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Make sure that you know that. I already know that. They were trying to tell me, fans chimed in on one of my things. They said, yeah, if you think Corey Davis is going to be included, then you're going to have to add an additional pick for us, taking that off of your cap. I'm like, dude, do you even research anything before you spew ridiculousness? We can cut Corey Davis right now. I think it's a peanut butter sandwich that's on our dead cap. Peanut butter sandwich with fluff and a banana. That's what we got to pay. Give me a break. They don't know what they're talking about. They think things because they're spoiled and they've been living up top forever, and they think it's just going to keep going with Jordan Love. And maybe it is. Maybe it's the same formula. You got to respect it. But as far as playing with Joe Douglas and the Jets and this whole thing, look, maybe I'm wrong. I just think, dude, if there's a stare down going on, up to this point, I haven't seen Joe Douglas cave. I don't even know if they've been in one yet. Joe Douglas has been in 50. He's just like, nope. I'll wait right here, dude. I don't give a shit. He gets done what he wants to get done. And I think we're in good hands. So what else is going on? So we'll see, right? Day 27 tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Now, the other thing is Calais Campbell is coming to town. Yay! Ooh, big D. Do you know how old this guy is? Before we get really excited, okay? And we'll talk about it. Dude, he's going to be 37 years old when this season starts tomorrow. Now, newly, his birthday is September 1st. He's 36 currently. 37-year-old defensive tackle, dude. You know, that's rare. It's rare out there, Sugar Bear. But the truth is that he's still pretty damn effective. So look, what are we looking at him for? Well, we're looking at him. We lost Sheldon Rankins, right? We lost Nathan Shepard. So we lost these two guys. We re-signed Solomon Thomas. We're going to re-sign and extend Quinnen Williams. So we have those guys. That's all well and good. We got JFM, Carl Lawson still here. Bryce Huff's been tendered. Michael Clemens. We got a lot of dudes, right? So, but we have holes now with Shepard and Rankins going. So let's take a look at a comparison for just a brief moment. So Calais Campbell in the last, just 2022, again, he'll be 37 years old. He played last year as a 36-year-old. He played in 14 games, 62% of the snaps in those games. So this rotation that we have here is going to benefit him. Probably take that down a notch, 56, 55, something like that. I could see that. Well, that's 550 plays on the defense. He also played 35% of the special team snaps. This guy's still playing special teams, another 123 plays. And he's good, right? He's good. So he ended up with 36 tackles, 18 of which were solo, 4 tackles for a loss, 5.5 sacks, 14 quarterback hits, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 passes defense. This guy's out there playing cornerback for us. Yeah, who cares, right? So that's what he looks like. Now he's replacing, let's just say he's replacing Rankins. Well, we'll look at Shepard too. Rankins is 28 years old, so significant. Well, 9 years younger, man. 9 years. That's a long time in NFL. In NFL lives, right? Rankins played 15 games last year, 55% of the defensive snaps. So, and he also played 8% of the special team snaps. He had 43 tackles, so similar, right? You know, Campbell had 36. Rankins has 43. 25 solo, 4 tackles for a loss, that's the same. 3 sacks, that's less. 7 quarterback hits, that's half. And 1 forced fumble, that's half. So it's like he's more tackles, less of the other stuff. Similar, though. Similar type of production. And so we're also looking at maybe Nathan Shepard. But I would say, Campbell takes the edge, without question. You're looking at more sacks, more forced fumbles, passes defensed, more quarterback hits. There's just more impact on the game. But the truth is that if Campbell came here, he's going to slide right in and do what you need him to do. Now, at some point, he's got to fall off the cliff, right? Some point, you would imagine. 37 sounds like a pretty fair place for it to happen, so it's risky. Now, he already met with the Falcons and Jags, and this week he's meeting with the Jets and Bills. So do we want the Bills to get him? That can't be the reason that you sign him, of course. But it's interesting, and let's see how that one goes. Now, another big one that happened this week is the signing of Mecole Hardman. Wow, look at this. We bring in this guy. We let Berrios go. He's our kick returner, right? We know that. And we signed Mecole Hardman. Now, from the Chiefs. Now, Mecole Hardman, back in the day, there was a rumor that Mike McCagnon was going to trade for Hardman. That was his crush. But he didn't. And we didn't get him, and that's that. So he's been a stud over there for the Chiefs. He made a Pro Bowl and second team all-star or all-pro in his rookie season. He's going into his 5th year. He had some injury stuff last year, but he's about as dynamic of a kick and punt returner as you can find out there, assuming he can stay healthy. Now, he's been a healthy guy for the most part. 16 games first 2 years, 17 games in 21, and 8 last year. So last year was the only year that really was impacted by injury. He had 25 receptions for 297 yards and 4 TDs. He also got 14 first downs. So he's a serious piece to the whole thing, man. The interesting thing is that he kind of fell a little bit off a cliff last year as far as the kick and punt returns go. Not really anything to write home about, but he still has that in there. That's the whole thing. He's only going into his 5th year, so I think it's a very, very strong signing. But just hours later, the Jets traded Elijah Moore, another wide receiver that we all had high hopes for, to the Browns. Now, what did we do there? So the Jets gave up Elijah Moore and pick 74 for the Browns' second-round pick, number 42. So essentially what we did was we gained, we gave away Elijah Moore for the value of pick 66. That's what it breaks down to. With the 200, I'll tell you right now. You said pick 74 is worth 220 draft points on the most used draft chart. And then 42 is worth 480. That's 260. That's pick 66. So that's where it is. So we traded Elijah Moore for a very high third. So he dropped. In 2 years, he dropped around in value. Okay. Now, why did we trade him? A lot of us thought that he had the highest potential for a breakout season this year. Yeah, he did. He had the highest potential for a breakout season. Maybe Mims, as far as guys that have been slightly or all the way disappointing. And we had high hopes for him. But the truth is this, and we all had it in the back of our minds, if not at the front. He pulled a real shitty move last year, man. He pulled a real no-no. And he complained in the middle of a win streak, the first win streak this team has seen in too long. And he asked for a trade. He told his coach to F off, that he sucked. He had to be sent home and benched for a week against Denver. What do you do? So they got rid of LaFleur. That's one half of the problem. And I think they were just waiting for it. Now, a lot of us, we kind of had that feeling, but we hoped, okay, look, the kid's talented. Let's make no mistake here, right? He's a talented player. They decided that we're not gonna look the other way. You're gone. And that's what they did. And they gained the third round pick in value, but truly they got pick 42. So now we have second round picks 42 and 43. So 13, 42, 43. The problem with that is the next pick is 112. So, hey, it is what it is. Higher quality is always what you want. If you can take your pick, you always want to get it. So that's a big one, man. That's a big one. And Jets fans are kind of split on this one, from who I've talked to. I think most people are disappointed but okay with it, understand it, think it's probably the best thing to do. But it just sucks. It does. It sucks. That's kind of where I am. I was pissed last year. And I said all the time, while I'm rooting for him to have the resurgence and everything and come back and be everything we'd hoped, I'm never going to defend what he did. You don't do it that way. You just don't. You just don't do it. It's a team sport. The team's doing well. Have your conversations. Do what you got to do, but you never put yourself above the team. That's the way it is. So Elijah Moore's gone. Mecole Hardman's in. Calais Campbell's coming, and A-Rod's in purgatory. And that is the news of the week. So with all of these things taking place, we're copping a couple feels out there. And let's talk about it. Let's see what's real and what's not in this week's Intelligent Gripe. So let's start with Ezekiel Elliott. Ooh, where'd that come from? Well, Ezekiel Elliott, who many think is quite washed, is kind of hitting that running back thing. This is why the running back value has fallen off such a cliff in recent years. It's just the truth. I mean, when I was young, taking a running back with a top 3, top 5 pick was normal. They were considered next after quarterbacks. They were highly, highly valued. And then all of a sudden it started to look like they just didn't last very long. And again, when I was a kid, you had a running back for 8 to 10 years. He was your starter, and he gave him 30 carries a game, 20, 30 carries a game, and he just was there. Not anymore. You look at Le'Veon Bell and Todd Gurley and all, guys like that, and just so many others, man. And Ezekiel Elliott looks like he's kind of there, right? Oh, really? These highly used running backs, teams have kind of adopted this approach. Like, all right, let me bring this guy in. I'll give him some money. And I'm going to run him into the ground. I'm going to use this guy as much as I can while I have him. And what that does is it shortens their career always. So Ezekiel Elliott, we don't know. Maybe it's just an off year or whatever. Or maybe he's washed. So what's up? Now he puts out a list. He goes, I've narrowed it down to 3 teams. I want to go to the Bengals, the Eagles and stay in the Cowboys division, or I want to go to the New York Jets. Holy shit. Where does that come from? Well, because we're cool. Everybody wants to come here now. We're the it team. We got it going on. And we're gonna bloody some faces this year. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. We get Aaron Rodgers, man, and we're going to start fattening some lips. And everybody knows it. So Ezekiel Elliott, with all due respect, even if he's washed, is a very recent stud in the NFL. Make no mistake. I think 3 Pro Bowls, right? So just one of the best running backs in the league for years. And the fact that he wants to come here is interesting. There's another 29 teams or whatever the hell it is that he could say, and he didn't. So, but what happened is Breece Hall decided to say, hey, on Twitter, we don't need you over here, man. I think we're all good over here. And he said to Michael Carter, What do you think? Are you right? I think we're all good over here. What about you? And then Michael Carter, who's already doing a whole other thing, he gives him a one-word answer, like solid. I got to at least answer this guy. He's reaching out. Agreed. That's what he says. That's what he says to Brees. Now, Brees, he's a rookie that made it through half the season. So, I mean, look, we all love him. We think the world of him. We don't know what the hell he is. He's he would have won Offensive Rookie of the Year, most likely. We don't know what he is. He's got half a season under his belt. And the idea that he's talking, I mean, look, I love it, to be honest. I love it. But you got to question the wisdom behind it, right? He's just making a statement. I don't give a shit that I'm only 1 year in the league. Get out of my house, so to speak, right? To the other guy, his other partner. We're good over here. But Michael Carter is already just engrossed in a Twitter battle with Jets fans from across the globe, man. And we talked about it in this week's Thursday Thick of It at some length. Michael Carter put out, first of all, he takes all the Jet stuff off of his Twitter page. Why? Who knows? He's best friends with Elijah Moore. We trade Elijah Moore, and he's in his feels. He's feeling something. Now, you got to look. You got to say, now, all right, let's explore this, right? You got to say, okay, what's the reason? What's going on here? What is he doing? Is he saying, I want to trade now by doing that? Is that what it means? Or is he just, morning, I need a day. I just want to be a Jet today. I want to separate myself from the whole thing and leave it alone. Okay, if it's the former, all right, you're being a punk just like your former buddy, which sucks because I love Michael Carter. I love him. I love Michael Carter. So it would suck. The other thing, all right, I'm just mourning, just leave me alone. That would be fine. Okay, I respect that. But he put out a tweet, you see. So he says some stuff like the disrespect will end, right? And Jets fans go nuts under there. People saying, hey, man, we got you. And other people saying, stop being such a bitch. I mean, everything in between. It's crazy town on the Michael Carter thread. So then he comes out with another one. He says, leave me alone. And everybody's like, you're the one who started this. You don't like it, then don't put your shit out on social media, blah, blah, blah. And then you got the other guys, don't worry, man, we got you back. We know it sucks, blah, blah. So it's crazy town. Then you got Jets fans fighting. Hey, man, you shouldn't talk to him like that. Hey, you shouldn't support him, blah, 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 blah. That all goes on. So then Michael Carter takes a breath, and he puts out this tweet. Practice gratitude every day, hoping everyone has a blessed day. Love you guys. Followed by, and I'm sorry if I blocked you, because that was what was happening. He just went down that damn thread and went block, 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 block. That's what he did, man. Everybody's telling me, I'm blocked. They fucking blocked me. Fuck Michael Carter. So he's blocking anybody with a negative comment. He probably swallowed a bunch of positive comments in there. He don't care. Block, block, bling, bling, bloogity, block. That's what he did. So he says, I'm sorry if I blocked you. It's probably just me trying to lock in. It's usually never that serious for me. Crying, laughing face. Social media isn't real life. I just be logging in on Twitter to laugh or spread love. It's probably fixed now. It's probably fixed now. That's what he said. I struggle to say that shit. I'm an old white dude. What do we want? What do you want? Probably. Sounds like Holly Hobby to me. It's like, probably? Okay. I'm going to say probably. That's what it means. All right. It's probably fixed now. So that's what he did. So he's at least trying to make that, that's what we call an olive branch. But the thing is, you look at it. So you got Brees Hall. He's bent out of shape that a multiple-time Pro Bowl running back would want to come into our house. And we don't even know what Brees is. And it's like, look, dude, if that did happen, you just got to own it. And you got to fucking step up. That's what you do. You let them know, dude, I'm the young buck. This is my house, old man. That's what you got to do. And if you can't, then you're not. You see? You got to do that. Now, again, I love that Brees Hall feels that way. Get out of my eye. I love it. That said, maybe you shouldn't be in your feels. Michael Carter, dude, it's your friend. You get, oh, man, this sucks. I'm upset. Leave me alone. The disrespect will end. Blocking, taking the jet shit. I don't know. What does it all mean? What does it all mean? So then there's all this stuff going on around Sauce Gardner. They're saying that OBJ, if OBJ is signed, it's going to ruin the clubhouse. Sauce Gardner says, dude, it ain't going to ruin shit. What's wrong with you guys? We're locked in down here, man. We got a strong clubhouse. So there's all kinds of stuff. It's like the whole Jets world We get no Aaron Rodgers news. We got to make something. And everybody's in their feels, man. It's a really funny thing to observe if you're not all feeled up, right? That's the whole thing. If you're in there, this is bullshit. I get that. I don't know. On my end, I have been laughing for days about this stuff. Now, that said, as you pull the humor and the feelings out, I'd like to retain Michael Carter. I like Michael Carter. I think Michael Carter's a stud. I think LaFleur, again, they say, look at his production. He dropped off. 3.5 yard average. Dude, after the fumble in the Buffalo game, which he was playing fine, he fumbled. It happens. He was getting like 4 or 5 carries a game after that. He was gone. Why? Why does LaFleur do that? He's done it numerous times to numerous players, man. So, like, why does he do that? So, I don't know. I don't have any real fear that Michael Carter isn't a good running back. Remember, when we drafted Breece Hall, lots of us were saying, not me, but lots of you were saying, why? We don't need him. We got our starting running back. Okay? So let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. At the end of the day, what it really all boils down to is this. It's okay to have feelings. It's okay to be upset. You like a player. It's okay. It's not okay to attack one another about it if they don't feel the same way. That's the trick. That's the trick. I want to be allowed to have my feels, so I got to allow you to have yours. And that is the intelligent gripe. Yeah, man, what a week, Jets fans. It's going to be a blast. This free agent season heading toward the draft has been a lot of fun. We got lots and lots of stuff to discuss. Don't forget about the Monday Night Mock tonight, if you're watching this upon its release. If you're a beanbagger, tomorrow night, because you get this shit early, don't you? That's right. If you want to join the beanbaggers, the link is right in the description, by the way. I forgot to say that, but hey, my beanbaggers are rocking this week, man. They're talking about beanbagger shirts and all kinds of fun stuff in Discord. It's been hilarious, and it's been a blast, and I love you guys. But yeah, so we got the Monday Night Mock, Dom C coming to hang out with us. Don't forget about that, and the Thursday Thick of It on Thursday. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me, and as always, go Jets.